Okay, so in this video we're going to look at the recurring transactions within Xero. It's a query I get from a few people who have used other accounting packages and have like reminders and things set up. So again, I'm going to jump into the Xero demo company here and just show you the options for recurring invoices and recurring bills. So we're under sales or purchases here. Please note you can't add a sales invoice from here and then recur it because that just adds a generic invoice. So go into sales or purchases from the accounts tab at the top. And here where we say new, where I can click on new, you've also got this little drop down ribbon on the side. So if I click on that one, I've got an option for repeating invoice and also credit note as well. So I'll go into the repeating invoice. First of all, I can pick how I want this transaction to repeat. So do I want it every week, month, 2 weeks, 2 months, 4 months, whatever it might be. So in this case, I'm going to put a phone bill in, so that's probably going to be every month. Now I set an invoice date. Obviously this is just for the first occurrence of this, and then it will repeat onwards. If you set an invoice date in the past, then it will only recur for the future dates. So in this case, I get my phone bill on the 9th, and it's due, let's say 7 days. You can set an end date if you want, but there's no need to. That would be useful if you've got, say, a monthly rent, but it's only on a 12-month contract or something similar. Otherwise, you can just set no end date, and you can always cancel the recurrence whenever you want. New feature in Xero, you can add files in as well. And finally, you've got an option here of how you want this to be. So you can either have this saved as a draft. So in this case, it's going to create this invoice, but save it as a draft so you can check it. That's particularly useful if it's something that changes each month. So in this case, I've said this invoice is going to be a phone bill. So it's an invoice I'm going to give out to a customer for a phone bill that we've had to pay. So the phone bill will change each month based on usage. So I'm going to want to save this as a draft so that each month I can go in and put a different amount in. If you were using something that's static, so maybe you bill people each month for support and it's the same amount every month, you'd probably want it to approve or even approve and send. So on the particular day of the month that the invoice is set to, it will just send straight out to your customer and sit awaiting reconciliation. So in this case, I'm going to save it as a draft. I'm going to set who the invoice is to. Obviously, the invoice number is automatic each month that it goes through. I can set my branding guidelines and things as well. And again, I'll just use my example item. So I'm going to set this to $100, but I can change that every time that I need to because I've only set to save it as a draft. So I'll give that a save. And now you'll see under repeating, I've got this invoice out to other sundries for the amount, when the next invoice date is, and obviously it'll be saved as a draft. So if I need to, I can always click into that and change it, or I can tick the box and delete it as well. Just for interest's sake, under purchases, it's exactly the same process. So again, drop down ribbon, this time obviously repeating bill, not repeating invoice. And again, all the same options here. The only thing with bill, obviously, is you don't have the option to approve and send because you don't send bills, you get them sent to you. Other than that, everything's handled exactly the same, and hopefully that's explained a little bit of how to use the recurring transactions in Xero.